Hello everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. This is May 12th. It is Sunday and I have had a wonderful Mother's Day. Okay, so yesterday was another new start for Stitch Mania, and no, I did not finish it. I won't be doing that for the rest of the time. You can rest assured. These are, I think the rest of them are fairly decent projects. But this one was one that I ordered back in November of last year at a stitching retreat with Katrina Boyd. And I actually had Stitchin May and Connie G and Marlene Stitching by the Lake. We were all sitting together stitching, and someone somewhere showed me this pattern and I just had a fit. I said, I have to have it. Well, we didn't know who the artist was because I think we had just seen it posted. I had seen it posted on Facebook where someone just posted their finish and said, finally finished with this one. And I didn't remember the name, and by then it was lost way down in Facebook. Well, we all went looking for it based on my description of it. We were searching for everything we could think of, and I think it was Stitchin May that found it. And it's called Jumpin' Jack Frost. And it's a PDF. I downloaded my PDF, but this is just my printed copy of the front of it. And that little boy is just about to dive off that pumpkin into those fall leaves. And I just thought that was the funniest, whimsiest, funnest fall picture. And I just had to have it. So, hence I started it yesterday. It became one of my Maynia starts, and I stitched on it yesterday to meet a extra credit prompt in the School of Magical Stitches. We were to stitch 500 stitches on something that we were compelled to stitch. We just had to get it. And that, of course, was mine. So, I have my start here. I'll share it with you. I think that is beautiful. Those colors are going to pop on here. This is heroic. It is a 28 count, so it's going to be fairly large. But it is, I can see it. I can really see it, and I'm enjoying it. And I wanted the words to be large enough to read. So this is a 28 count, and it's a cashel linen, y'all. I don't know what's up with me and this linen. Maybe I just think I'm an even weave person. No, I really am, but this is linen again. Anyway, I was also able to use this for one of the prompts in Cheryl's Facebook group as well, for something that I just wanted to stitch on. And so I was able to use it there also. So that was what I did yesterday. Now today I am going to be doing something that wasn't planned. I have decided, since I already hit my 500 stitches, actually I did 525 of them, for my prompt for the School of Magical Stitching, that would allow me today to do either stitch more on that just for fun, or to do something else I want to do. And I have decided to stitch on another one of my whips that will meet a prompt for the School of Magical Stitches. And that is my Flowers of the Holy Night. And the prompt that I'm using this one for is stitch on something that has been the longest time since you've worked on it. Well, now that I have stitched on my chatelaine recently, this one actually wins that prize. So I'll be working on this. Now I have to put 500 stitches in this to meet that prompt. So as soon as my husband and I finish my walk, which we're going to take in a minute, I will come back and get started stitching, and I can stitch on it tonight, either until I hit my 500 stitches, or I can stitch on it as late as I want tonight, and then come back in the morning and finish up my 500 stitches before I start my new start tomorrow. So let's talk about that. My new start tomorrow is slated to be my Riolis Kit that is the cherry blossom tree. As you know, I'm starting that, hoping to get it done by Christmas of either this year or by August for my son's birthday, because it's to commemorate his trip to Japan. So that's why I'm starting that one. That's why I picked it. I'm also evaluating it for my bobbin.com, so I will let you know how I like the wool in the kit once I get, started stitching on it. So let's talk about what changes how those changes came about. I realized just a couple of days ago that in order to participate in Ingeborg's birthday sal, which I wanted to do, and in order to incorporate Cheryl McKinney's Facebook group and her challenges that she's put in there for us, I needed to do some revamping of my Maynia start list. And so I've done that. And I don't want to go down and bore you by reading each thing and telling you why I picked it for that date or anything like that. I'll tell you that as I do it. And that way you only have to absorb one of them at a time, and maybe that won't be quite so boring. But anyway, I will tell you this. I've got it planned out, and I'm excited about it. Doesn't mean I won't have to change it again, but I have a plan. I've got my list. I know exactly what I'm to stitch each day. I've got my notes as to which prompt it's meeting for which thing. And I also had to plan in there for 2 stitching meetups because I have one in the week that I'm going to be traveling for this coming week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll be stitching with a group. And then the following Saturday is going to be a challenge. We're having company. They're coming in on a Friday, and they're not leaving until Monday. Now, I have a stitching meetup that Saturday, and my friend that's traveling here said, oh, I want to go. I want to meet all your stitching friends. And she doesn't stitch, but she's willing to go and sit and talk with everybody while I stitch. And that's awesome because her husband and my husband are going on a big hike all day. So she and I can go visit with people, and they can hike, and I think we'll have a good time. Get back together and have dinner together. But that means I may not get any stitching time on Sunday, and it may be late into Monday before they're gone, and I get stitching time on Monday. So I have planned what I'm going to stitch on the 18th. I haven't planned any stitching for the 19th because that's the Sunday that they'll be here, and we'll probably be spending a lot of time with them. And then I have planned to start on the 20th in hopes that I get to stitch that night after they've gone back home or headed back home. But I'm also stitching on that the next day. So there's this little slowdown on that weekend that I have planned in to cushion myself so that I don't get behind. And then at the end of the month, when everything is said and done, I will have 3 days that I have not assigned anything to, starting on the 29th. And that gives me a little room to wiggle in case I don't get a stitch, or I don't get finished with what I need yet for a prompt, and I have to push things out a little bit. So I have a plan, and it's got a little wiggle room, and so I really like it. I'm excited about that. The funny thing is, once Maynia is over, I'm gonna have to sit back down and rewrite out in my Maynia book. I haven't been putting things in there yet, only my 4 finishes, and I'm not writing anything in that book until I actually start it because I want it to really reflect what I did in Maynia, and it's been fluid. I've been having to change it. So I'll have to update that a little bit. But things are going well, and I'm having a ball. I hope you are. I'm going to let you go now. I've spent a lot of time today. I hope my remainder of my update will be quicker. I won't have so much explaining to do, but I hope you're enjoying your stitching, whatever you're stitching on. And I am so enjoying your comments. Thank you so much. Those of you who have let me know how much you enjoyed the walk in the park. My husband and I are going to walk around a lake today, and I don't know whether it'll be a good day for filming or not. It's overcast, but eventually I want to get you some footage of that walk too, because it's a totally different look. It's much more of a public area, but it has a lake shore, and I might even be able to catch you some beautiful boats going by, or just a whole different view. And I'd like to share that with you too. We are so fortunate to have multiple parks here in town where we can walk and enjoy nature, picnic together, as it were. So enjoy your stitching, enjoy the rest of your month, And happy stitching, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina. I've been working on my Flowers of the Holy Night today. I was doing that for a Magical Stitches extra credit prompt to work on your whip that it has been the longest since you worked on it. And this was the whip that met that criteria. So when I started on it today, I knew I needed to try to get 500 stitches in. And I wasn't sure if I was going to make it by the end of today, but I did. I actually went past that. I got 800 in. This goes really quick because you're using variegated floss, so you don't change thread that often. Each leaf in the poinsettia is only 2 colors, but they're all variegated, so they look like they have lots of color in them, but they're only 2. So you do a pattern of 1 color, the darker color, and then you go in and fill in the rest. So I was able to get quite a bit done today. So 800 stitches, let me show you what that amounts to. When I picked this up today, what I had done was everything except these 4 leaves. So I did these 4 today. So now, other than these 2 little green leaves here, which will go here, I've almost got it completely across. As you can see though, I can't really stitch these 2 leaves here well. I need to roll it up. So I'm going to do that because I just saw the homework. Now for next week, we're not allowed to start on it until, you know, tomorrow. 12:01 tonight, but I won't be starting on it until I get up tomorrow. And the assignment is to look at our whip list. And if you have 17 or more whips, you work on number 17. If you have less than 17, you have to split the number of stitches and you do 350 stitches on whip 1 on your list and whip 7 on your list. So whip 1 on my list is Flowers of the Holy Night. So here I've just needed to do this for this challenge, and now, because it was the only one that really met it, and now I've got to do this for the homework next week because it's the one that meets it because it's number 1. I think that's kind of funny. Anyway, so I'm definitely going to roll this up and have it ready for later on in the week. And I don't know whether I'll do it tomorrow since I'm in the groove. It's only 350 stitches, so that should be easy enough to do. If I roll it on up, then I can get these 2 little green leaves done here, and I can finish this motif, at least the leaves in the middle, and then all this greenery has to go down there as well. But I would be in a position to really make some progress on it. And I might do that first thing in the morning before I do my new start tomorrow. And that will knock out half of the homework for Magical Stitches. So I think that's hysterical. When I saw that today, or a few minutes ago, I just had to laugh out loud because think about it. I did 800 stitches before I saw that. I could have stopped at 500 and met my extra credit. And I would already have 300 of my 350 done. Anyway, it's all about putting extra stitches in the projects, right? So that's what I'm telling myself. Anyway, I'm glad I got to share it with you. So this is where I will start from when I start the homework tomorrow. And I will be concentrating probably on the 2 leaves that I need to do here and maybe the little green leaves here, and try to at least get those 2 things done, or at least maybe when I hit 350 I stop. I don't know, but that's what I'm going to work on first thing in the morning, and of course I'll come back and share it with you. I had a viewer ask me a question about this piece just this week on my YouTube channel. And their question was, did I use the variegated floss in this piece and would I recommend it? And the answer is absolutely. You can see how much variegation is in here and how intricate that looks in all of these, especially the larger ones. You can see the variegation more because it's a bigger space. But I'm just going to tell you, if these were not variegated colors, it would simply be a red and green. There would not be the level of interest and, you know, in there that there is to me anyway. So I'm glad I used them. I did use the silks for this one. I think if you were to get variegated DMC and substitute that, you'd be okay. But I really think you need a variegated floss for this piece to make it as interesting as you want it to be. I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you later in the week. Happy stitching. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina again, and I wanted to give you an update. I have been stitching today on homework for Magical Stitches. So when last I started it and worked on it, I had reached a point where I had gotten in the poinsettia over here, minus the two little green petals there, or leaves there. So I decided, since I had to do just 350 more stitches, that I would just start right where I left off, and I did. So I will pull it off the stand now, and I will show you where I got to. So here's where it is. So what I did is I started and stitched these two green petals. So that pretty much balanced. I'll pull back where you can see, so that it is balanced on both sides. Then I went ahead and added this green leaf and this green leaf. And I was actually able to get 368 stitches with these two and these two pieces. So that met the homework. And since I just finished a rotation on this piece, I'm going to let that be it for now, because I have so many other things I want to get to for the rest of the month. But I'm really happy because, in case you noticed, I had to roll this up to even get to that. So getting close. The bottom of the page now is there's a small poinsettia here, here, and here, and some greenery at the bottom. So I'm actually about 2/3 finished with this. Pretty awesome. Okay, I'm going to put that up. And now, today's new start is my Riolis Kit. And I pulled it out and I looked at it last night. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be starting today. And it does come with Swigert Aida, and it is 14 count Aida. I'm going to use it because I'm trying to evaluate this kit, so I'm going to keep the fabric in it. The threads are wool, which I've never used before. There's one there and one there. And they're all wool. And you stitch with it full crosses except for one thing. And the one thing that's not a full cross is the background here behind this tree. And I do not speak Japanese nor Chinese, so I do not know what this says, and I don't know which language it's in. It says, with compliments of well-being. I think that's the name of the pattern. I'm not sure if that's what that says. So I'm going to leave those two off unless somebody out there can tell me what those two symbols, or maybe there's three, this might be a separate one, what they say. because I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to be starting this today, and I will come back at the end of the day and I will let you see my progress. And I think this will be a small start. I'm not going to stitch on it any past today. Probably. I actually have 2 days, today and tomorrow, for it in my rotation. So if I need to, if I don't get much stitching time and I really want to get into it and spend tomorrow on it, I can. But tomorrow I will be packing. I'm going on a little trip to a stitching meetup, and I'll be gone for part of the day, Wednesday and Thursday, and I'll come home sometime during the day on Friday. So I have to pack and plan to take all of my things with me that I'm to stitch on and start for my various sals and for my Maynia. So I've got all that written out and I'm ready to go to do that. So for now, all I have to worry about is my new start. So I'll talk to you soon. Let you see how I did. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back. I wanted to give you just a brief update on how my new start went today. It is the 13th of May, and my start that I did today was my Riolis Kit. This is one of the kits that I am reviewing for mybobbin.com, and it was a Maynia start today. If you will recall, I am planning on stitching this to give to my son as a reminder of his upcoming trip to Japan. And so I got started on it today. I really have enjoyed stitching on it. The fabric that came in the kit is Ada. It is a little stiff, but I can tell that with working it, it'll start getting softer and softer. But this is how far I got on the piece. Sorry, loose thread. So this is just one of the branches coming out from the center of the tree. I started in the middle because this is very off-center. There's no way for me to have started it in a corner. So I'm working in those limbs right in here. This is the limb I did. And now I'm starting to work up here and down here till I can get over to the tree, and then I can go down to the bottom and then go back up. So I have a method. I'm working there. But I also wanted to try the entire limb because I wanted to see how all the colors were going to turn out. And they really are beautiful. They just pop. And this is wool. And I am grateful for Ginger Gerald telling me to use shorter lengths, because I did that from the very beginning and I have not had a bit of trouble with it. So I have been pleased with this kit so far, and I can recommend it to you. So I will keep stitching on it as I go. It will become one of my whips, and then I can put it in my rotation. But this is a very intricate whip. You can tell there's a few stitches and then you change colors. There's a few stitches and then you change colors. And this is the entire piece is like that. And to do color completion, I would have to count a lot. And so I'm already having a bit of a trouble with it because the pattern is in color. And I'm going to give you a quick look at it. It's in color. So I can't highlight it. I usually color my name with a colored pencil to let me know what I have stitched and where I am, so that's easier for me to find. And today I had to frog about 4 stitches at one point, simply because I had put it in, I had thought I was at the right place to put it in and I wasn't, and I caught it and I had to take it out and move it. So I'm gonna have to be really careful and concentrate hard on this, and I think what I'm gonna wind up doing is just like I did here. I'm gonna pick a limb and I'm gonna go all the way to the end of the limb and just change the color all the way out so that I don't miss where I'm at. I also have colored tape that is made like a sticky note. It comes on a tape dispenser, and it is specifically made for marking patterns to show where you've been, so that you can put the tape either at the line you're stitching across, or you can put your tape to box in what you're working on. And I may get that out with this one, because I could at least put tape around the limb that I'm working on till I finish that whole limb, and then I could unbox it with the tape and tape another limb off so that I know where I'm at. Because as I change my eyes from the pattern to my piece, I'm having a hard time when I go back to the pattern to make sure I'm in the right spot. So this one is going to be a little harder to do just because I'm going to have to concentrate on it. But as far as the kit goes, the floss is beautiful, and it truly, because it is wool, you only use the one strand. You use it just as it comes off, and it's fluffy, so it really sits up off your fabric. So I think it's going to be a beautiful piece, but it's just going to take a little work. So that is my Maynia start for today, and I am going to pack it up for tonight and start getting everything ready for my little trip tomorrow. And I hope to be back to talk with you in a few days. And I hope to have several pieces of progress to share with you by that time. So in the meantime, happy stitching. Good night. Hi everyone. This is Dina, and today is May 14th. Happy Maynia! I am here to give a brief update. Today I had a new start yesterday on my Riolis kit. And I had actually scheduled, 2 days for each new start. But in looking at all the homework and extra credit, and now looking at monthly assignments or opportunities through Cheryl McKinney's group, I thought, oh, I need to do some stitching on other things today. So I did. I was fortunate because I found one of my whips that would meet 2 things, and they're in different groups, so I can do that. The first group is in Cheryl's group, and in Cheryl's group, she posted some monthly challenges. These are in addition to her May challenges, so that we were just doing already. There were 6 that she posted originally. Now she's posted more that we have the entire month to work on. I think the other challenge is over by the 24th, so this one goes a little bit longer than that. Anyway, I could be wrong about the dates, but I know what the items are. So Cheryl, I'm working on it. This one was to stitch on something that makes you smile, and we have to tell you why. So I'll be posting this on her Facebook group, but the second prompt that I am meeting with this same whip is one for the School of Magical Stitches, and it is for Mad Eye Moody. You have to stitch on something that has an eye in it. So I'll share with you how I met both of these with this one item. This is Friends. It's based on original artwork by Bob Timberlake, and it has been charted for cross stitch. And it was charted by Kathy Livingston. Sorry, I had to take a peek. Anyway, as you know, this is for a friend of mine. And this was a new start this year in the month of March, because that's her birthday month. And I've worked on it for a couple of challenges. So this challenge today, there were 2 of them. The first one is pretty easy to see, so I will show you. This is my progress. Here's the eyes of that Raggedy Andy doll. So yes, I stitched on something that had an eye on it, and I even stitched down to the eye, and I stitched both eyes for that doll. So I got them in there. I got 526 stitches in here. So for Cheryl's group, you could choose between 300 stitches or 500. And since I got 525, I'm going for the 500. I'm going for 2 tokens, Cheryl. Anyway, this one is for what makes me smile. And the reason this one makes me smile is just the anticipation of my friend's joy when she opens this up, hopefully for Christmas. But if I can't finish it by then, for her birthday next March, because this is a pattern by an artist that she dearly loves. And she's told me many times, if you ever find a cross stitch by Bob Timberlake, please stitch that for me. That's what we would call a unicorn chart for us. It is a unicorn present for her. And she does not know I have it. I'm not going to tell her. And so this will be a total surprise. And it will be something off of her wish list. So I'm pretty excited. That makes me smile. So that's why I chose this one today. To meet both of those prompts. So it's been a very productive day today. Been happy about that. I hope you're enjoying your stitching. I hope you're enjoying your Stitch Mania if you're participating. I have redone my schedule 3 times now because of seeing other things out there that I want to do. And I'm trying to enjoy it all. I don't think that's possible. But I am having a great time trying. I hope you are having a wonderful month of May, regardless of how you're stitching or what you're stitching. Again, I just hope you're enjoying what you're working on. And I will talk to you soon. Happy stitching, everyone. Hello, everyone. How are you? Today is May 15th. It is the first day of Ingeborg's Happy Birthday, Sal. Happy birthday, Ingeborg. I am excited to be a part of that. And for the first day of Ingeborg's Sal, she wanted us to work on something that we had to frog. Sorry to say it, but this is the one I had to frog on. Pumpkin Spice Farm. When I started this for Maynia, if you'll recall, I wanted to stitch this pumpkin in a fancy floss that my son had given me for Christmas, which turned out it's actually Canine. And it's a Canine braid, a number 4 braid. And so it was very thick, and this fabric is hand dyed, so it's tight. It was a 32 count before they dyed it, so it's probably, you know, what, 34 or something now. Anyway, when I stitched this pumpkin, you can see all the sparkles in it today really well. I got off in my counting, and I had to frog that Canine. Oh, anyway, so I think that qualifies, Ingeborg. And so we were to stitch on it today for her birthday. So I did. And this is my progress. I got both of the brown border lines done and the top row of this vine done. And that actually totals 368 stitches. So I'm happy to let you know that I was able to use that for my Magical Stitches homework, because I had to do 2 whips because I had less than 20. So I had to do 350 stitches on my first one and 350 stitches on my 7th one, and this was my 7th one. So I'll be posting this today for the School of Magical Stitches, and I'll be posting it for Ingeborg's birthday, Sal. And I'm also going to count it for Work That Whip with Stitch Mania, because it was a whip, and I did work on it today. So I have killed 3 birds with 1 stone, as they say. 3 different things I'm getting to count this for, which is a good thing since I have so much stuff I'm doing. And the other piece of news I want to share with you is that I'm getting ready in just a few minutes to leave here and go to a stitching meetup with Stitchin May and Connie G. And I'm very excited about it. And so I've got my list with me of the things that I need to stitch for Ingeborg's birthday sale, and for Cheryl, one of Cheryl's prompts for her May stitching in her Facebook group, and also for one of the extra credit for homework for Magical Stitches. I'm taking all those with me in hopes that I can get them done in the next day and a half that we will be stitching together. So we will see. Have high hopes, right? Oh, y'all, I am just excited about Stitch Mania and how much fun I've had this year. And I'm excited about the School of Magical Stitches, and I just saw the live broadcast last night where Vicki introduced her new co-admin and Kat, and so I'm so excited that she has someone now to help her with that. And Kat's been around. She's been working in the background doing all the calculations and keeping all the spreadsheets and doing a lot of the admin work anyway. And so this is not new to her. She knows what she's getting into. So I think that's a good thing. It was a great live broadcast. And so Vicki, thank you to you and Kat for all the hard work that you're doing. We're certainly enjoying it. And I like the changes that you talked about. And so I am looking forward to continuing with the School of Magical Stitches, and we even got a hint that we might have something pop up this weekend. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, you guys enjoy your stitching, whatever you're working on. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hello everyone, this is Dina, and today is Friday the 17th of May, and I'm here to give you a little bit of a different update because I have more than one item to share with you. But as I mentioned in my previous clip, I actually have been to a stitching meetup with Stitchin May and Connie G, and we also had another friend who's done a couple of floss tubes, and she was able to join us as well. And she's not active right now on FlossTube, so I won't give you her channel. But her name is Kelly, and she was able to join us one of the days that we were stitching as well. So I took my list with me. I'm happy to report that I hit every goal. We were stitching because 3 of the 4 of us, Connie G, Megan, and I, are all working on Magical Stitches assignments, and even though Kelly is not in the School of Magical Stitches, she's working on a Haid, and she is on her last page of it. So she was highly motivated to stitch with us, and that was a lot of fun. Megan hosted us and took great care of us as a hostess, and so Megan, thank you so much for having us meet together. The first thing that I stitched on when we got together was for a couple of different projects. It was for Ingeborg's birthday, for stitching something in green, and it was for the School of Magical Stitches for something you find in a maze. And I had mentioned to you I would share it. So Stephanie, if you're watching, look away please, and I'll tell you when you can look back. Just a reminder to everyone else, this is the pattern that I'm working on for my sister Stephanie. And so I wanted to work on this part, which is green, and also, as you can see, it looks like a maze. So Stephanie, you can look back now. Anyway, I was able to make some progress on that, and I was able to stitch on it for 506 stitches. So I did make it. I made the goal. It did take me most of the day to get that much because we were talking and visiting and whatnot. So I'm going to ask my sister Stephanie to look away one more time just for a minute so I can show you the progress. Okay, you looking away? All right, here's where we are now. And you can see this is the new part that I added right there. And that's the progress that we made on that. And I am going to be working on this for another prompt. Stephanie, you can look back. I'm going to be working on this for another prompt in the School of Magical Stitches. They wanted us to, one of the assignments was to work on something that has a mode of transportation in it. And so I'm going to use this for that. All right. The second day that I was at the stitching meetup with Megan and Connie G, Connie and I were doing a new start for Maynia that we were going to start together, and it is the Needle's Eye. There's another individual who is starting this with us as well, and her name is Susan, and I don't have permission to use her full name, so I won't, but Susan, I had been able to reach her, and because we changed the date to start this while Connie and I would be stitching at the same location. We thought that would be fun and make it even more memorable. So Susan, I hope you got to start yours on the same day because you were planning on it. And so I will show you now. I worked on this for most of the days stitching that day, and this is where I got to. So I made a lot of progress on it. I got the little center stitched right here for the sign, and I've got the shoes done, and I'm moving over getting the chair started. So I'll come up working on the ladies. But I started in the center on this one, and I decided not to do the back stitching of these words until I got all the other stitching done, because I have to move my Q-snap around probably. And I was afraid I might pull and stretch them because they're back stitched. I may do some long stem, strips of it and couch it, and I didn't want to potentially mess that up. So I'm really pleased with the progress on that one. And I've gotten home late this afternoon, had dinner with my family, and I am ready now to start stitching again. And so I had originally planned to do my oldest whip, and it was going to be my chatelaine. But I will tell y'all, one of the nights that I was there at the stitching meetup, we stitched till 4 o'clock in the morning, all night long. I think we're in training for the 24 hours that's coming up soon in June. So I'm pretty pooped. Today I'm pretty tired. I've driven back home today, fought sleepiness, and so I think what I'm gonna do now is stitch on something a little bit easier to do. I'm gonna look back at Ingeborg's choices of what we were able to choose, and I think one of them is even a new start, and I may even start something small, I don't know, but I will be stitching later in just a little bit, but I don't think I'm gonna pull out my chatelaine tonight. I might do that tomorrow, but anyway, happy birthday, Ingeborg. I've enjoyed stitching in honor of your day. Now I want to share with you just a little bit some happy mail that I got. I'm so excited about it. I have been making a friend, which we do frequently through FlossTube, and my friend's name is Gloria, and I call her Glo, and she recently contacted me and said that she knew my husband and son are going to Japan, and that I am thinking of stitching something to give them in honor of that. And so she had this little good luck kitty, and it's called a Japanese lucky cat, and you've seen them in the restaurants, their arms usually do like this. And she had stitched this for a couple of family members that love Japanese or live in Japan, I think. And so it's a quick stitch. What I have is not a quick stitch, so I can at least stitch this and know that I'm gonna be able to get this finished in time to celebrate his return for my son. And then I can stitch on the other piece a little more casually. So she sent me this to loan this to me. And look at the card that came with it. Is that not the most precious thing? I've got the information on the back. It's a Maureen P. Appleton design, and it's by the Heart's Content Inc. in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I'm going to check them out, and I might be getting some cards from them too, because I just thought that was the cutest thing I've seen in a long time. But in her sweet card to me, she said that I had taught her that no chart can travel alone. So she also included this, 20 patterns for Christmas ornament stitching, and guess whose designs they are? Michael Powell's. Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, do you have this one? Look at this. I don't have any Michael Powell charts, and now I have 20. So Glow, thank you so much. I am gonna get started on these because they're precious. Okay, that is my happy mail for today, and my progress on my whips and on my magical stitches. And so I think what I'm gonna do today, after this video, is I'm gonna end it for this week and work on putting it together, all the little clips together, and upload it tomorrow. And that way it'll be my report for my progress this week, and you'll get to share that. And then I can start working on the weekend on new things, and I'll video them for you as I go. It's been a great Maynia for me, and thank you all for your sweet comments and your enthusiastic support of my Maynia experience this year. You've really made it fun, and I appreciate it very much. Happy stitching, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye.